right? Every single person in your database right now really deserves to have someone call them and chat with them about their situation, to talk through what's happening in their life, to look at their real estate, their finances, their insurance, their liquidity, their cash reserve position, their retirement plan, which is severely impacted for most Americans right now. Right? People may be pulling money out of the wrong assets right now. Right? They may be pulling money from a diminished stock portfolio or 401k or IRA, or getting distributions if they're retired. They may not be accessing it from the equity in their home, which is an appreciating asset, which I'll show you more about later. Like, every one of your clients would absolutely love the opportunity to talk about that right now, because what else are they doing, right? I mean, they're sitting at home and they're just spinning out on social media, they're spinning out on the news. Someone from an unbiased perspective, if offered to reach out to them and help give them an analysis and walk them through some things, and if nothing else, make them feel a little bit more certain in an uncertain time, everyone deserves that, right? So I know lenders on this call, you may be saying, that sounds great, but I don't have any time to do that because we're inundated and overwhelmed. Someone on your team can do it, even train the real estate professional on how to do it, or at least just offer the clients, the opportunity to do it, and then have them sign up when it makes sense for them as they get the emails. So I think, it was a testament to the fact that $180 million real estate producer, without ever meeting me face to face, just doing a webinar, decided to partner with us because he saw the need for art of home ownership right now more than ever is so important. So please get this out to your agents, have them watch this webinar. If they watch it front to back, I promise they really should have an interest in taking this on, because this will be what separates the people who really flourish and make it long term from the people who struggle short term and then end up struggling long term. All right, next is going to be open houses. So not a lot of these happening. So we came up with an idea, I'm sure others have thought of it, but virtual walkthroughs. Right? I think every agent right now on this call, and hopefully other agents that are going to be listening to this, make sure everyone's out of the house, right? Do a virtual walkthrough with a camera, or you can even have someone film you as you're going through the house. Right? Try not to touch anything. And explain every detail, explain every room, talk to the camera as if you're talking to a prospective buyer coming to the open house, right? That way, if anybody has, is interested, don't just email them the link where they can watch that virtual walkthrough. Make them sign in through it, right? And even better, you can use your Art of Homeownership site to say, sign in here with your information, and not only will you get the link to watch the virtual open house, but as a buyer, you'll also get really great information and really great perks and access to things that are really going to help you through your home buying journey, right? So if someone signs up through your Art of Homeownership site, you send them the link, and then they can essentially watch the walkthrough, and then you can follow up with them afterwards. So doing virtual walkthroughs, having the 360 camera, you can stand in a room, do the Matterports, do as much as you can to really show that home at a high level. Now, another cool thing that we thought of is doing digital open house hours, right? So you can literally set up a Zoom meeting, and they have to pay for the upgraded Zoom account. I think it's $13 a month or something like that. I'm not sure. But imagine, on social media, you say, hey, we're having a virtual and digital open house for 123 Main Street from 1 to 4 on Saturday and Sunday, right? Now, depending upon the size of your real estate team, you could have multiple of these, but let's just say you're one realtor and you have one open house. Now you have this 3-hour window where you basically open a Zoom meeting, and anybody can join that Zoom meeting and ask you questions about that open house. And then as soon as they join it, you basically say, here, watch this link, right? So they can see the link in the Zoom meeting. They can click it, they can watch the video, and then as soon as they're done watching the video, they're right back in the Zoom meeting asking you questions about the house, right? So this is the way you can be in front of a ton of people, and then at the same time, you can add every single one of those people that come through. They have to sign in with their email and phone number and everything. You can just, hey, what's your address? I'm going to add you to our Art of Homeownership site. That way you can get a lot of great information. Here's some information about it. Call me if you have any questions. It'll be super helpful for you when you're thinking of potentially buying, selling, or just being a homeowner or a prospective homeowner. Now, from a lender's perspective, imagine this, right? You can literally be involved in as many of these as you want, right? So if your agents are having digital open houses, you can just be signed in to 10 different Zoom webinars at once, right? And all you're doing is just sitting there, right? You could be watching TV if you want, right? Nobody's going to know, right? And then as soon as someone says, well, I have a question about financing. Oh, my lender's here. Click, right? All you got to do is listen for that, right? And then all of a sudden you're up, you're on. Ideally, you look presentable. You can see the person, they can see you, or maybe they're not on camera, but at least they can see you. And you're immediately having conversations with buyers who are at digital open houses, talking to the agent, talking to you. Highly recommend setting that up right now, right? Because you guys can gain so many buyers. And then I'm going to give you some more information here later on how to talk to them and things to share with them. So if you have any questions or feedback on open houses, let me know. But I would really work with your real estate teams to do digital open houses and just have you be available at 10 plus of them all at the same time. All right, next is going to be collaborative webinars, right? So give consistent market updates to your clients and prospects. They deserve it. You should be seen as the primary source of information for anything real estate and finance related. So I'll give you an idea of what one of those looks like. Assuming the thing works here. See if I can find it. All right, here we go.
Going on in the real estate market, and also partner. Hi everybody, it's Natalie Boyle with the Boyle Group. I'm here with my financing partner, Ryan Grant, and today we're going to talk about what's going on in the real estate market and also the financing world. So Ryan, I know the big question a lot of my buyers and homeowners have right now is, now that the Fed's taken the rate to zero, what does that really mean?
Yeah, it means 0% mortgages for everybody. No, we wish that were the case. The reason why this happened, the Fed was initially supposed to meet as of today, but they made this announcement on Sunday, which speaks volumes as to how necessary it was, right? Because there was just a problem with liquidity in our economy. Nobody wanted to buy anything. Everybody just wanted to get cash out of the market. So Monday of last week, interest rates were in the very low 3s to high 2s, depending on the type of product it was. And almost overnight, as of the next day, interest rates went up almost a full percentage point, right? And then they kind of continued through the week.
So I won't make you guys watch the entire thing, but essentially it's an interview back and forth. It's about 13 minutes long. And we put that out on social media, put it out in her world, put it out in our world. So people can watch, right? They can get a sense for housing and mortgage interest rates and what's happening with the Fed. And there's a lot of people that see it and have questions. If your text messages and your Facebook messages and your emails and your phone calls don't give you an idea that everyone is wondering about it, especially now when saving money sounds like a really great thing, then it's an idea that you should probably put into fruition. Let's see here, we have a question. Can you share the site for this resource? Great one. Thanks for so Pinky, we just use Zoom. So that was just a Zoom recording, right? So we did a Zoom recording collaboratively. She was in her camera, I was in mine. I just recorded it to the cloud. Recording comes through, and then we just post the link. So all of your realtors should be doing that, right? They should be looking forward to doing that, especially, if you ask them, what's the future of real estate? Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to have a crystal ball. We're going to think we know, right? But the lender is probably going to have the more of the insight on really what's happening in the market with interest rates, and that's going to affect mortgages. Okay, and I'm hearing Pinky. Looks like you were asking the resource. The resource for the shared virtual office, which is this, is called Discord. discord.com. And we'll send out this deck after the meeting as well. So you guys will have the deck, and you can, this will all be sent out, so you'll have all the information on here as well. But yes, definitely use Discord. So do these collaborative webinars. Your realtors will love them. Real estate agents on the call, highly recommend getting with your partners and doing these things. The more content you could put out, the more you can be seen right now, the more visible you can be, the better. All right, So I don't know if we are quite here yet. Let me jump out of this. So, all right. So creating content with Art of Homeownership and market updates is, something that is really viable right now. When we look at all the things you can create content around, right? And this is the one thing you should be focused on right now when you're thinking of creating content is how can I add value to the lives of the people that I'm trying to reach, right? To homeowners, prospective homeowners, and the like. Well, there's 6 different things you can talk about right now, right? And you could do one video a day, right? That talk about each one of these things. Like, hey, right now, obviously everybody's in their home. There's probably, looking around the house, wondering there's some things that should be fixed or repaired or updated or, trying to figure out when to do that or how to do that. If you don't have a home concierge service for your home, if you don't have a personal assistant for your house that is helping you manage these things, helping you work with contractors, helping you save your receipts and invoices, and you can even just screen share this, right? If you don't have, somebody helping you, by creating a home diary or a to-do list or a maintenance schedule, right? Like our team is happy to provide this for you, right? We provide this for all of our clients and all of our future clients. It doesn't cost anything. There's no cost. There's no commitment. We just really believe that you should have this right now. If you don't have this right now and you're looking around your house and you're seeing some things that, probably could be improved, reach out to us. Better yet, click this link, just sign up or give us a call. We'd be happy to help, right? Like you have so much content at your fingertips right now that other people don't have, right? Because there's not much other people can offer right now, right? If you're a realtor, you can only offer to help someone buy or sell a home, but if they don't want to, how are you going to adopt them, right? If you're a lender, if someone doesn't want to do a mortgage right now, same thing, right? So utilize your Art of Homeownership platform to put your content out there. And not only are people going to see it and be excited or interested in it or curious about it, but other real estate partners will see it for you, lenders out there, financial planners. I had a financial planner reach out to me the other day. She said, hey, I saw some of your content on your Art of Homeownership platform. We run a huge financial services firm up in LA, and I'd love to talk about partnering with you because it sounds like you guys do that, right? I said, yeah, absolutely. She just sent me a Facebook message. So the more content you're putting out right now, the better you will be. So try and elevate yourself out of the chaos and the minutia, especially lenders, even real estate agents. Try and elevate yourself out of it into content creation, right? Because that's going to be where you'll see a big lift, and that's where you'll see the long-term lift in the business. So all 6 of these things. Hey, if you're getting ready to move, right? If you're thinking of moving, if you don't have relocation technology that's going to save you thousands of dollars and hours upon hours of time and an incredible amount of headache, do yourself a favor, reach out to us. We'll offer this to you. It doesn't cost you anything. Right? We're happy to help you with it. I mean, all these things are just really great things to put out in the world right now. Grab this, take it back. All right. Now, next thing I want to go over is buying now versus later. So I want you all to watch this. This is from a guy that we follow, and it will give you some good insight as to what we should be doing right now. So let's take advantage, and here we go.
Assumes that the liquidity problem gets solved by the Fed, and I think it will. The S&P goes to at least 1,800. Here's the important part. Home buyers, if your mortgage loan officer sent you this, take heed. Please, 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 please. I'm going to get this right. Remember, Warren Buffett said when people get greedy, you should be fearful. There's been a lot of greed in the home buying market. Seller greed, buyer FOMO, fear of missing out, drove home prices up. I don't think there was a bubble ever created in home prices. I don't think we're nearly at a bubble, but greed is a time to be fearful. I wouldn't have been buying in this home market, not just yet, unless I could get a payment less than rent. That's what it's all about. But so fearful homeowners will pull back, and the brilliant homeowners will jump in without the competition they fought against for the 2 years. I would say to make an offer and have it accepted. I would say to make an offer a few percent lower than asked and get it accepted. It's going to be a wonderful feeling. You home buyers, what you've gone through is not normal. It's not normal in history. So again, whether in homes, stocks, or bonds, when people are greedy, be fearful. And when people are fearful, be greedy. People are fearful. This is your time. This is your time to get in probably with the record low rates without the home buying competition. That's my thought. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. Put any comments you have, put it in Facebook. And, love to hear from you. Take care. Bye.
All right. So again, we'll forward this out to everybody. Let me see here. All right, so we'll forward that out. Again, this will be forwarded out to everybody. Highly recommend you get buyers to watch that, or better yet, get that script down yourself. Make sure that you're talking to home buyers that way, that your agents are talking to home buyers that way. You're sharing that type of content, and you guys can watch that entire for now. This was from March 14th, right? So this was from that Sunday when the Fed dropped the rate. So still good information. Now, obviously, there's some updated stuff, but I'll make sure that you all have that, and I'll put that here in the chat. Let me do this chat to everyone. So AOH team, if you can, just include that link when you send out the recording of this. Really great way to push that message out. Plus, it's just really good on what's happening in the marketplace. So it'd be great for you to be able to recite that to your audience as well. All right, so that's buying now versus later. So the seller opportunity that exists right now, a lot of people were heavily leveraged into real estate, which is a great thing. And real estate is actually a great place to be right now. But for some people, it's not the best place to be for their specific situation, right? So maybe they need liquidity, they need cash right now, right? Or maybe they realize that the stock market is 40% on sale. And if they can sell a home right now and be able to take that revenue from the home sale, move it into the stock market or dollar cost average it in. So when the stock market moves back up, that's a 40% return on your investment in a very short period of time, assuming that we see that bounce back. So there are people who are going to entertain the idea of maybe selling some investment properties, maybe 1 or 2 investment properties if they own them. Maybe they'll look at, maybe they're an elderly couple that we're planning on downsizing anyway. Now is a great time to do that and then reinvesting the difference. Maybe they just need cash, right? Maybe they're just looking for cash out in some capacity. So, there is a lot of seller opportunity. And then for people, the people who want to move up, well, unless they really need to move up, unless there's like a Brady Bunch situation going on, they probably won't act on that need right now because of fear and uncertainty. So that kind of leads me to my next thing is how do we help our buyers and sellers through this time, right? And the best thing we can do there is just educate, right? Educate and motivate, because fear is going to cripple people right now. It's going to put them in a situation where they are, they're paralyzed, right? It's fight, flight, or freeze mechanism when chaos kind of takes over. People are going to be freezing and flighting at the moment. Not a lot of people fighting against this thing, right? So the opportunity there is, look, I don't care what you do, right? I had this exact conversation with the buyer 2 days ago. He was trying to cancel his transaction. He was even going to give up his $10,000 earnest money deposit just because he was fearful, right? So I said, look, I don't care if you end up buying this home or not, right? But what I care about is that you're making a really educated and a rational decision, because your decision sounds very fear-based and emotional right now. And that's totally understandable, right? I'm not trying to tell you that's not a good thing. But his payment was going to be about $1,400 a month, give or take. He spent $10,000 on the earnest money, another $1,000 on the appraisal and inspection. He wasn't going to have a mortgage payment for 2 months, right? Because he was going to fund this month, wouldn't pay April, wouldn't have anything due till the 15th of May. I said, look, you'll have 2 months of no payments. If you let go of that $11,000, that's equivalent to 7 or 8 months of payments right there, right? That you're just going to give away. So if you honestly believe that this is going to impact your income for over a year, that you're not going to get your income back on track for over a year, then I think you should cancel. But if you think that your income will normalize or stabilize or be back on track anytime within a year, it doesn't make any sense to cancel, right? It actually would put you in a worse financial situation. And he started realizing, he says, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I didn't think about it that way, right? I just thought about we were just kind of afraid and nervous. So they ended up moving forward and buying the home because they don't actually believe that they're going to be out of it for a year, right? Or their income will be really materialized that long. So not everybody's going to be in that situation. Not everybody will have removed their contingencies and have that money at risk. But That's why I said I don't care if he buys or not, right? I just care that he makes a confident, educated, smart, logical, and rational decision. And everybody should be focused on that. If you're a seller, if you're a buyer, and to all the real estate agents that are listening to this or that will listen to this, we are uniquely suited to help people make logical, rational decisions, because it's all about money at the end of the day, right? They're concerned about their finances. They're concerned about their payment. They're concerned about future income. They're concerned about a lot of things, right? Everyone wants to buy the house, right? That's human nature. That's emotion, right? But emotion gets in the way of other emotions. So I urge you to implore your lending partners to really take hold of that, right? To really own that part of it. And if the client decides not to buy after going through the education, or not to sell after going through the education and the motivation around it, great. That's their decision. We can respect it, because at least they know everything that comes into that equation. If they just make an emotional decision and the lender doesn't get involved and we don't start talking about that, we're actually doing them a disservice, right? So make sure, agents, that your lender is getting involved in that capacity. All right, so some good news. Fannie Mae housing forecast. So let's jump into that, and then we'll get into gratitude and perspective here. So here's our housing forecast. So Fannie Mae put this out, I believe it was last week, and that was before the Fed rate drop and everything else. So this will most likely be updated. I think they do it every 2 weeks. So this will most likely be updated next week, and we'll try and share it when it comes out. But as you can see here, and I have the notes on it. Let me pull that up. Notes on it somewhere. Here we go. So Fannie Mae projections were published on March 10th. Again, it's still out of date, but their annual forecast shows $2.6 trillion in mortgages this year. Again, on an average year, we do about $1.5 trillion as a mortgage industry. So we're going to, be up on that by close to, 80%. Now that'll get revised up next month. So it'll be apparently April 10th is when we'll get the next one out. We'll probably look to closer to 3 trillion, right? But keep in mind their January forecast was 2 trillion. So they've already revised their numbers up by, by 600 billion in 60 days, right? And with this new Fed rate drop and everything else, that number is going to move higher. So the interesting thing to note is that the interest rate projections through 2020 and 2021, they actually show rates being flat through the year and even slightly lower into 2021. So this is going to be an extended volume period, right? If the virus cases actually, cause us to move from purchase focus in some markets to more refinance focus, the rates will remain low, not only for that, but for purchases. And there's going to be pent up demand once the virus gets addressed. So you can see here, here's where we are. Here's where we're expected to go, right? We're going to go down. We're going to go down. And these numbers could be even lower. This is the average. So we could see, very, very much see interest rates on 30-year fixed that start with a 2, right? Which means 15-year fixed, they're going to start in the low 2s. Right? So people can pay the same amount they're paying now on a 15-year and save an incredible amount of money, right? So when they're looking at buying a home, or even more importantly, buying investment properties, right? If you can buy an investment property on a 15-year term that previously, a year ago, you would have bought on a 30-year term and have a similar payment or similar cash flow, and now, you're 40 years old or you're 45 years old, that home will be paid off by the time you're 55 or you're 60, right? There's your retirement, right? You have a free and clear property that was been paid off. You paid almost next to nothing in interest on, which the renter was paying anyways. You were earning revenue on it or breaking even. I mean, this is where the opportunity really lies, right? Obviously lenders, if you thought that you didn't get in as of last Monday and lock all your loans, just take reservations. We had our lender call yesterday. If you're on it today and you missed our lender call yesterday, which we're going to do every Tuesday, make sure you watch that recording from yesterday, because we really get into how to stack your clients and how to take reservations to refinance them over time. But when you're talking to buyers and sellers, imagine buyers, aren't buying, sellers aren't selling, but the rates continue to drop and drop and drop. Imagine the demand pressure that's coming. All right, so as soon as this thing gets addressed, not only are people going to fly out of their house because they've been cooped up forever, start traveling and buying things and going to restaurants and spending all the money that they just saved, by not going out or doing things. I mean, we looked at our budget the other day. The amount of money we're going to save over the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month, just by like kids' activities and things we had planned and travel. It's insane, right? So you better believe that when it opens up, we're going to have that same desire that everybody else is going to have to go out. Talk to your buyers about what that demand is going to look like. Like it's going to be a cannon shooting out when this thing comes out, because interest rates are going to be 3%, and you know they're going to go up against 50 offers on a house, right? And sellers, you know, may think, well, I want to wait for that. Well, that's fine, but if you can sell your home and buy the new one now at really good rates without that demand and without all that competition, knowing that you'll be able to most likely refinance your interest rate lower down the line, it's a great time to sell and buy a new one, right? Because that the long-term goal is the new one, right? The short-term goal is getting a little bit more for your home. You could get a little bit more for your home, then you could pay a lot more for the new one or not even find it because there's going to be inventory challenges. So this is where the opportunity exists. And lastly, again, I'll cut this call a little bit short, mainly because, you know, I know everybody's a little bit overloaded right now. We need to practice perspective and gratitude at a really, really high level, right? Because there are millions and millions of people in our country who are severely impacted by this. You know, restaurant industry is looking for bailouts. The airline industry is looking for bailouts. You know, people are getting laid off and hiatus and furloughed at a really alarming rate. You know, the government's looking to pass the $1 trillion act to be able to send checks to people. You know, everybody gets $1,000. I don't know how long that'll last, right, or what that will entail. But imagine the opportunity we have as mortgage lenders right now and as real estate partners, like especially mortgage lenders on this call. We have the opportunity to do business as usual in the comfort of our own home without fear of being out there in a world where we could get, you know, we could contract the virus. And not only that, we have an opportunity to actually increase our earnings in a time where almost nobody is increasing their earnings and almost everyone's doing the exact opposite, right? The gratitude you should have for that should be phenomenal, but the responsibility that you now also have to help as many people as possible is overwhelming, right? That you should feel that responsibility, right? Like you shouldn't work hard every day just to make more money. You should work hard every day because there's millions of people out there that really want to talk to you and that need your help, right? And real estate professionals is the exact same thing. But this is why I think real estate professionals need to be using the art of homeownership at such a high level now. Because if you can put your clients and your prospects and the people in your sphere in touch with your lender, and your lender can help them analyze their situation and work through it, that's a responsibility that you both have to deliver, right? So the gratitude I have for the industry that we're in right now is at a level that I've never experienced. And the perspective that I have is completely different than it was 30 days ago, right? I was very happy to be in this industry 30 days ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, but never more so than now because of what we're seeing, right? And I know that, you know, we can still do business as usual. I can still be around my family, right? Have my girls around. Like, we need to understand that our gratitude also creates responsibility to help other people, you know, experience some level of comfort, some level of confidence, and a massive level of education. So I'll leave you all with that.